Hi everyone, welcome back to the Art of Business English. This is Andrew here again today, and today I do have a really useful episode for you. If you're serious about improving your English, then you need to set realistic goals and prepare yourself to reach those objectives. Now, do you often think that you should work harder at your English, but never seem to find the time? Or do you often wonder what is the best way to practice your English? Well, if you've asked yourself these questions, then you will get some serious value out of today's lesson. I'm going to show you step by step how to create a study plan and then give you some tips on how you can stick to it. Okay, so basically in today's episode, you'll be covering the following: how to set realistic goals, how to manage your time, how to develop a study plan, and how to locate resources. Okay, so let's take a look at these top 4 tips. So the first one today is goal setting. Okay, well, we all start out, with good intentions, but we often find that we don't really achieve our goals. And, what are the reasons for this? Well, basically, many people set unrealistic goals or goals that don't really fit in with their lifestyle. And the problem with setting unrealistic goals is that we often feel defeated or demotivated when we fail to achieve these goals. So the result of this, for example, with learning English can be the feeling that you will never learn English, or that languages are just not your thing. Okay, obviously this is ridiculous. Okay, firstly I'd like to say that I hate it when people tell me that they were born bad at learning languages. This is absolutely not true. Okay, what is true is that some people find it easier than others. However, learning a language is like any other skill, okay? With practice, you improve and master it. So try and just remove these negative and untrue thoughts from your mind, okay? Now, so what's the best step? So firstly, you need to set realistic goals, okay? And when learning English, the mathematics is very simple. The more hours you dedicate to your English, the faster you will improve, okay? So the trap here is that if you then decide that you will spend 2 or 3 hours a day studying English, then you will improve quickly, which is true. You will improve quickly if you dedicate 2 or 3 hours a day. What happens though in reality is that you can only do this for a few weeks, okay? Then it becomes too much. And instead of doing less hours, or instead of reducing the hours, you actually end up getting frustrated with your failure and you decide to give up. Okay, so we're back to square one. And the second issue with learning a language is that things don't improve overnight. Okay, progress is slow and steady. So basically, you don't wake up one day to the next and suddenly understand everything. Okay, the acquisition of a language occurs over time. It's a gradual process, and the improvement is not something that you notice on a daily basis, okay? Therefore, the first rule is to set realistic learning goals, okay? For example, if you work and you have kids and a busy life, then I recommend dedicating between 15 minutes and 1 hour a day maximum to your English, okay? The goal should also be measurable, meaning we can easily see the progress we are making, okay? So I plan to read a book this week, which is probably a little bit difficult, but if that's your goal, at least at the end of the week, you can see if you have read the book, okay? So it's a measurable goal. So what I want you to do now is I want you to think about what you could realistically dedicate in terms of time to studying English. And once you've done that, we can move on to the next part of the episode and look at time management. So time management. Now, this is the wonderful thing about being an animal living on this planet, and that is that we all have the same number of hours in a day. So it doesn't matter if you're the richest person on earth or just an average worker like most of us. We can only achieve so much in one day, okay? So we need to balance family and kids and exercise and friendships and all of this as well with work, okay? So we should also add personal development to this. So personal development is, learning English or doing a course or improving your personal or education situation. So how can we manage our time? Well, the first rule is to make the time in your calendar. I know it seems very simple, but it's true. So you need to spend 20 minutes reviewing your Google Calendar or whatever system you use for tracking your agenda. Okay, so sit down, quiet time. I recommend personally you waking up 30 to 60 minutes earlier in the morning, as this will give you the quiet time you need to study. Okay, so you can put this time into your calendar. I don't recommend studying late at night after a long day. This is going to end in failure. Okay, so what you should do to combat that is, instead of staying up late, you should go to bed earlier, okay, 30 minutes or an hour earlier, and then you can use that 30 minutes or that hour in the morning, okay? In this way, you will be much more productive and much more motivated. Okay, secondly, and most importantly, now, if you plan to study during the day, you need to mark the time in your calendar. And you should do it as something such as a weekly team meeting or something that is very hard to change, okay? Why am I doing this? If others have access to your calendar, then you need to make sure that you protect this study time, or you can disguise it, okay? You need to protect it. You need to disguise it. So put in your calendar, I have a meeting. I'm sorry, I can't change it. Even though you don't have a meeting, you have study time, okay? You need to then also mentally block this time. So if someone asks you to meet or to do something, just say you can't, as you have a busy meeting or a schedule, okay? You're busy or you have something on, okay? Don't give an excuse. Don't say, I have to study, and don't try and adjust your calendar, okay? Society and technology are constantly trying to steal our precious time, and most people, most of you, allow this to happen, okay? People have reminders and notifications and many external distractions, okay? So turn those off, okay? Don't answer the phone when it rings. People just pick up the phone. Like, even when they're having lunch with their family, the phone rings and they answer it. Turn it off. Turn on flight mode or put the do not disturb, okay? You will save an amazing amount of time, and in the end, most things are not urgent at all, okay? Everyone thinks that they're urgent. Everyone's running around. Oh my God, this is so important. But you know what? If you don't check your email for, 3 hours or 4 hours, nothing's going to happen, okay? So block your time. It's very important. And just tell people you can't. It's as simple as that, okay? I do that all the time. People say, why can't you do that? And I say, I've got a meeting, but really I'm going to the gym, okay? Right, so now that we've decided how much time we can spend studying and what time or days, let's now move on to how we can develop a study plan, all right? So I'm going to explain how to prepare a study plan, and you can download an example from the AOBE website, okay? We've got one there, a template for you. The first thing you need to understand is what things you need to study. And when learning a language, it is generally accepted that there are 5 main areas that need to be worked on. And these are listening, speaking, grammar, reading, and writing. Okay, those are your 5 key areas. So in this example, I'm going to develop a 5-day study plan. Okay, the time is irrelevant. You can dedicate 15, 30, or 60 minutes. Just modify the activities or the resources to fit the time that you have available, okay? Remember, it's much more important to study 15 minutes every day than 2 hours just on 1 day a week, all right? So, firstly, you can start on Monday by listening to a podcast like you are now, okay? Many podcasts are only about 20 minutes long, so they are perfect for a quick English lesson. Many sites like the Art of Business English also provide you with study material and extra material, so you do have some resources there to read. On Tuesday, you can program a speaking class. Now, in this case, you will need to find a conversation class. Some companies provide this at work, and that's fine. If you do, take advantage of those classes. Again, try and block the time. If you don't have access to qualified English coaches, then please contact us, as we can assist you with that. We do have a team of professionals who can provide conversation coaching classes. On Wednesday, you can focus on improving your grammar. There are many grammar books, okay, that you can find online, or there are websites dedicated to grammar. Personally, I prefer purchasing a digital grammar book, as this allows you to follow a logical progression, okay, instead of looking for random grammar on website. There are generally accepted grammar steps to learn, so it's better to have a book, okay, because books follow a specific order, and you have all the exercises and all the resources easily there for you. Okay, on Thursday, You can do some reading. In fact, reading is very easy and can be done every day. If you listen to a podcast, you have the transcript, okay? So you'll also be reading. If you follow a grammar book, you will read. If you want to enjoy reading, now this is very important, then I encourage you to purchase a subscription to a magazine in English. Why? Well, this way you can read about a topic that you enjoy and you can learn at the same time. Okay, super simple. Now, the beauty of magazines is that you only read short articles and you don't need to follow the storyline and remember the plot and all of the characters, which can sometimes be difficult when you're reading a book in another language. If you want to save money, then simply read one news article in English, okay, a week, and take some vocabulary down. It's important that you actively read. And another option is to find a blog that you like and follow the posts, okay? And if you're feeling a bit more adventurous, you could start reading a book. However, make sure it is adapted to your level, okay? Or you will not enjoy the experience and you will stop reading the book within a very short period of time, okay? I've learned that from experience. So finally, on Friday, you can do a bit of writing. Now, I suggest journaling. Basically, that's writing down your thoughts into a journal. And this has become very popular now. It's quite fashionable, okay? And it's also a great way to put down your thoughts, and it's really good for your mental well-being. And it's something that you can reflect back on, okay? If you have an English coach, then you can write emails to them, okay? Or you can get them to help you correct your work emails in English. And writing is a very important skill that most students try and avoid, okay? You should not avoid that. Take advantage of writing as much as you can. So now that we have put together our study plan, okay, it's important to note that this should all be mapped out over a 4-week period in advance. What do I mean? You need to plan this study plan for a month, okay? You should develop your study plan for a month and have all the material and resources in place before you start, okay? You cannot prepare your study plan on a weekly basis. This will lead to failure. It must be done in blocks of 1 month, okay? Remember to download the study plan at the AOBE, okay, to help you plan your month, okay? Right, let's look at some ways to find study material. So, firstly, if you need listening material, I obviously recommend the Art of Business English weekly podcast. You can listen to it on iTunes or from our website. Obviously, there are many more podcasts. You can search for them on the iTunes directory. Okay, for grammar books and material, you can do one of the following 2 things. You can purchase a grammar book from Amazon, preferably with answers, so that you can self-study. The most famous grammar book is called English Grammar in Use. Okay, there is a link to the book in the show notes. You could also do a Google search for a PDF version of the book. Secondly, you could do a Google search for English grammar websites or take an English grammar online course. I'm currently working on one of those at the moment. Okay, it's an intermediate grammar course. With regards to speaking, we recommend obviously starting with an English coach, okay, and doing conversation classes with one of the team over at the AOBE, okay. We offer online classes via our interactive learning platform, okay. So if you do need an experienced English coach, then get in touch. We'll be more than happy to help you. So fourthly, for your reading, I have mentioned a lot of ideas already, but basically the most important thing here is to find something that you're interested in, okay, and search for that topic, okay. This will be the most enjoyable way to acquire new knowledge and practice your English at the same time. And finally, with writing, writing is something that we should do as often as possible. Okay, so if you have the chance, write as many emails as possible at work. And again, there are many resources and videos at the AOBE website for improving your writing skills. So if you have a trainer with you, be sure to send them a weekly writing task for correction. And it does take quite a long time to learn how to write effectively in a foreign language. So you must practice. There is no other way to improve your writing but by practicing. Okay, so basically those are the 4 top tips for improving your English and preparing a study plan. Okay, you will be able to stick to it because it's written down and you can follow it every single day. Okay, that's why it's important to prepare it 1 month in advance. Okay, and that's basically all we have time for today. So make sure you download your free copy of the study plan template. If you have any questions regarding this episode, as always, then please do get in touch with us. And if you're interested in any English coaching services, then again, contact us, as we'll be more than happy to advise you on the best strategy for your learning needs. And I hope, as always, you've enjoyed this episode. Make sure you share it with your friends and family. And until next week, take care. And I look forward to having you all again soon. Bye for now.